Ready? Good, set, go.
You cheater!
What?
He cheats a lot. But he's fun. He loves to have fun.
I first met him, he kind of called me randomly, like out of the blue. He was just kind of like, hi, it's Michael. I'm just like, hey. And the thing is,
This was after Home Alone?
This is after Home Alone. I actually had met him before I was doing Nutcracker at Lincoln Center. I was playing Fritz, and he came backstage one day, and I actually met him very briefly. And he kind of recognized me because it was after I'd done Uncle Buck, and so...
Mac have had quite an extensive relationship. Is this true?
Yes,
I mean,
we've known each other for 4 years now.
4 years?
4 or 5 years.
How did you guys meet?
We met, what was it? Lincoln Center.
Lincoln Center?
In the Nutcracker.
You were in the Nutcracker?
Great dancer. Mac's a great dancer.
He is?
When Michael saw the movie Home Alone at Christmas 1990, he asked his housekeeper to contact his young star, Macaulay Culkin.
Michael saw the movie and he asked Norma to have him brought over and spend some time with the wench.
Yeah, he reached out to me because a lot of things were happening, like, you know, big and fast with me. And I think he identified with that.
And then he calls me up kind of out of the blue, and it's kind of just this weird random thing, and he was like, why don't you come over to my house? Thing is, I didn't react to him the way most people did. Most people like, Michael Jackson. And, you know, I mean, he was a god to people. And to me, he was, you know, I knew he was a pop singer, but beyond that, you know, I wasn't one of the fans. I think that's one of the reasons why we connected.
I really didn't actually give a shit about famous people because I was thoroughly unimpressed by them. So when I first met him, I'm like, okay, cool, you're just that guy.
Yep.
Oh, that guy who sings songs. Like, cool.
Great.
Like, I sing songs in school. That's great. So anyway.
I've never lost a water balloon fight. I'm the Michael Jordan of water balloon fighting. Legions of Doom.
Yay.
We won the fight again and again.
I think that's one of the reasons also why we got along is that, like, everyone's always thoroughly impressed by him. And so the fact there was somebody who was kind of just, like, treated him like a normal person, who was kind of just like, yeah, like, it was that simple.
Believe me, I call him a jerk all the time. I call him a fat head and this and that, you know?
But knowing Macaulay Culkin, he made sure, he schemed on me. He told me to go up on the diving board, and I went up there like a nut.
Kill you, Mac! Mac, I'm going to annihilate you.
Brock said that Mac had a friend who was talking about joining us in Bermuda. We were, okay, well, that's fine. Who is his friend? And Brock said, it's Michael Jackson. Wow, it's really Michael Jackson, and where's everybody else? Because it was just him.
And we were just snorkeling, shooting water guns. Michael was there on the beach, but, you know, he was in full clothing.
Me and Mac we're in Bermuda, and we're looking for some interesting treasure. Mac and I would go on vacation together, and Mac is very smart, and he's very ingenious in causing trouble. But it's his idea.
Yes. I'm not going to try this one.
And we were in Bermuda together, and we were signing water balloons. He had me signing water balloons, and he was throwing these balloons at the fans on the balcony. They loved it. They wanted more. Okay. They were asking for more.
Mac and Brock were watching a movie or something like that over in the other room, and we went out on the balcony. And that's when he came out with, he really missed not having a childhood. And that was one of the reasons why he ran around doing all these crazy things, because now he could do what he wanted, and he wanted to have the fun that he didn't get when he was a kid.
I remember a statement he made that, you know, kids are honest, you can trust them. He says, I haven't been around hardly any adults that haven't ended up wanting something from me.
You know, what Michael went through as a child, he had to grow up so fast that he related to what you went through as a child. And I think in a way, he was trying to protect you.
Yeah.
I mean, and I got something that was kind of profound. Did you feel that's true?
He used to tell me that very few people besides Michael could really understand that kind of white-hot attention.
I was a peerless person. You know, I was like, yeah, like nobody else in my Catholic school even had like this much idea of what I was going through. You know, or what and like he was the kind of person who'd like, yeah, been through the exact same freaking thing and wanted to make sure that like I wasn't alone in that kind of.
One time I wore a ski mask and I was walking down the street, you know, this guy goes, I heard him just whispering, is that the kid from Home Alone? I'm like, I'm wearing a ski mask. Boy, you know, I better get my plans. I better get a facelift or something, you know.
Before Home Alone 2 was released, Macaulay had collaborated with Michael on his groundbreaking video, Black or White. Michael wanted the Home Alone director Chris Columbus to direct Black or White, but he declined.
He would call me at night for like an hour at a time just to talk. I really had this sense of loneliness about the guy, and that he really wanted to make friends.
Stink bombs.
Macaulay would say to Michael, that guy's always giving you a hard time, and we gotta get him.
We're just
Does it stink out there?
I knew that Mac and Mike were up to something. I was very taken aback by how elaborate it was.
And he's gonna hit John with the first part.
I go, John.
Where's Mac? This looks very dangerous to me.
In appreciation for working on the Black or White short film,
Yeah.
we'd like to say thank you, and we love you, and we think
And
you've
John?
done
And
a
John?
wonderful job.
Yeah.
John.
Because
What, Mac?
John.
Yes?
every time.
He was hilarious. He was sweet. And like, yeah, no, people didn't know how funny he fucking was. He liked prank calling people. He actually was really good with it. No. He's like, how are you? And like, yeah, he's like, I'm good. Like, hi, you know, do you already mattresses in your mattress store? Like, you know, and he was charming, fucking funny, silly, like, yeah.
Macaulay, truly excited, eager to introduce Michael to his Home Alone 2 co-star, Devin Rattray, who was taping away.
Ladies and gentlemen, the one, the only Michael Jackson is in that airport van. Don't I know you from somewhere? You're that guy,
Thriller.
He's armed, he's dangerous. Oh, Michael! It's a pleasure to meet you, Mr. Jackson. I hope that we get to hang out soon off camera, okay?
Okay.
Then, later in 1993, Macaulay's good friend Michael Jackson was accused of child molestation.
These statements about me are totally false. As I have maintained from the very beginning, I am hoping for a speedy.
Mac later admitted he wished to speak out in Jackson's defense, but his father wouldn't let him. He was 13 years old at the time.
So things like, you know, when you and Liz Taylor were the godparents for Michael Jackson's son.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
Was
That's
that just
a
kind
recent
of like
thing, though. Also,
was that kind of, oh, Michael's my mate and Liz is his other mate?
yeah, he called me up and he said, yeah, you want to be my son's godfather? I said, yeah, sure. And the next thing I know, it's like in the magazines and stuff like that. It's just like, I didn't think it was a big deal. He's like one of my best friends, and he asked me to be his son's godfather. And what am I going to say? No, you know.
Macaulay was there for Michael's all-star salute in 2001.
He's a sweet person, and I'm very happy to have him in my life. I think one of the great things about our relationship is me and him could just act like kids all the time, and that's kind of what we do.
And Macaulay is the godfather of Michael's 2 kids.
How are they doing? Oh, they're doing great. They're beautiful. They're beautiful. And they just keep on getting bigger. I think, you know, as normal of a life as Michael can give them, the better.
The relationship that you had with Michael Jackson?
Had or have? I mean, it's kind
Had
of,
both.
you know, whatever.
Let's go with had.
Listen, no, he's a good friend of mine, and he still is. I mean, everything that's going on, I mean, it's unfortunate. It's an unfortunate situation for everyone involved. And
what happened at the house? That's what all these things
it's,
are people
you know, that's
concerned
what's so
about.
weird, you know.
What did happen?
Nothing happened, you know. I mean, nothing really. I mean, we played video games, you know. We you know, played it as an amusement park. Well, the thing is with that whole thing is that, you know, they go, oh, you slept in the same bedroom as him. It's like, I don't think you understand. Michael Jackson's bedroom is 2 stories, and it has like 3 bathrooms and this and that. So when I slept in his bedroom, yeah, but you have to understand the whole scenario.
Talked about young boy sleeping in his bedroom. Well, you and your brother Kieran had done that.
Yeah, it wasn't anything like weird. It wasn't anything we thought about. We go to the movies and we do this, we do that, and it's like, okay, you know, just you plop down, you go to sleep, you wake up. It's just kind of just what happens, you know.
Did your parents encourage it?
They weren't against it. You know, it wasn't like they encouraged it or like pushing me upon it. It was just kind of like I wanted to hang out with them, and they were fine with it.
So what do you make of what he's going through now?
Like I said, it's unfortunate, and you know, it's a circus right now. You know, I don't know. It's a little crazy, and I kind of have taken a step back from the whole thing because it is a bit of a circus, and. You know, if the same thing was happening to me, I wouldn't want to drag him into it, and vice versa. So I try my best to keep a distance from it, but Like I said, he's still a friend of mine.
If they asked you to be a character witness, would you appear?
I guess so, but I don't. I probably not. I mean, like I said, it's crazy, and I don't really want to be a part of it.
Actor Macaulay Culkin arrived and left the courthouse here in Santa Maria with very little fanfare. His testimony didn't last too long. In a very clear and strong voice, he told the jury Michael Jackson never touched him inappropriately. He also said, quote, "I never saw him act improper with anybody." Culkin did face a somewhat aggressive cross-examination by prosecutor Ron Zonin. Culkin did say yes, he shared a bed with Michael Jackson, but he described it as more like falling asleep on Jackson's bed. The prosecution then attempting to try and suggest that perhaps Jackson molested Culkin while he was sleeping. Prosecutor Zonin saying, "So as far as you know, you were never molested while you were awake." Culkin's response, "As far as I know, I was never molested by Michael Jackson."
You did say that you felt that he did not have unnatural relationships with any of the kids, any of the boys who stayed in his house. How did you know that?
Well, I mean, you never know anything without 100% certainty. But at the same time, I mean, my opinion is if he didn't do anything to me, I don't think he would have done anything to anyone else.
When was the last time you talked with Michael Jackson?
About 4 months ago.
How is he doing? He's living in Bahrain in the Middle East.
Yeah, when I talked to him, it sounded like he was doing better. I mean, his voice was stronger. So, you know, I just said, you know, just go and take care of yourself, essentially, was my advice, you know. So, who knows if he'll take it.
Jackson's 3 children, Prince, Paris, and Blanket, solemnly emerged from a caravan of Rolls-Royces just after sunset. His entire family more than an hour late for a service witnessed by Jackson's dearest friends. Among them, 77-year-old Liz Taylor, frequent Neverland guest Macaulay Culkin, and his longtime collaborator, Quincy Jones.
He has always defended his friendship with Michael.
That's right. And just this past January, Macaulay talked about the pop star on the Inside of You with Michael Rosenbaum podcast. He revealed that he and Jackson bonded over their childhood fame.
It's almost easy to try to say, oh, it was like weird or whatever, but it wasn't. It's like one of my friendships that people question only because of the fact that he was the most famous person in the world. He was the kind of person who'd like, yeah, been through the exact same freaking thing and wanted to make sure that like I wasn't alone in that. For me, it's so normal and mundane. Like, you know, I know it's a big deal to everyone else, but like for me, it's like, yeah, it was a normal, like, you know, it was a normal friendship.
Now, Macaulay has always said that Michael never did anything inappropriate to him, despite other sexual abuse accusations against the pop star. Now, in the interview, Macaulay says, in part, quote, "If I had something to speak up about, I would totally do it. But no, I never saw anything. He never did anything." Now, Macaulay also talked about an awkward interaction he had with James Franco on an airplane regarding the Michael Jackson documentary Finding Neverland. He said that James asked him what he thought about it. Well, he simply responded with, quote, "Do you want to talk about your dead friend?"
And for some reason, though, people think he's the only one who knows because he was there, so everyone wants his opinion. In my head, there is no way, again, I'm speculating, there's no way Michael Jackson would have touched or done anything to Macaulay Culkin because he was the most famous person on earth at that time. I mean, one of them. I think he used him as a beard or a hide to say, look, I have children friends and I do nothing with them. And he can go broadcast that out to everybody.
But see, Sam, I think he did this interview because he does not do a lot of interviews. He hasn't done one in 15 years. I think he doesn't need to. He's not promoting anything right now. He's a multi-millionaire, doesn't need the money, doesn't need the exposure. Everybody knows his name. He's doing this, I think, to tell people to take my dead friend's name out of your mouth.